Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. Whenever you're watching this, I hope you're having an amazing day. So, welcome to episode 13 of the Built for More podcast, which is crazy because I can't believe we've got on to episode 13. And this episode is a really special episode because we have my wonderful client McKenzie joining us, and I'm going to ask her some questions about herself, her journey, how she's found like working with me, the team, BodyBalance, and yeah, all that fun stuff. So let's jump straight into it. So McKenzie, because obviously most people listening to this might not know who you are, so give us a little introduction on you, what you do, all of that jazz.
Well, I don't know why you wouldn't know who I am. I'm definitely very relevant. Well, I'm McKenzie, 21. I think I'm one of your youngest clients, I think.
Oh, you
Um,
probably are
I think
actually.
I think so, yeah. I'm a uni student at the moment. Final year, I just have a little part-time job. But other than that, I just kind of live day-to-day life.
Yeah,
Gym's mainly a big part of it.
giving his life. I know you said was it this week that you said that you decided to do a masters as well?
I actually got into the uni I want to get into on Thursday. I forgot to tell
Oh
you. I
my
was
god,
going to tell you tomorrow.
congratulations!
Yeah.
That's amazing. So, again, because I know people might not know, what is it that you study?
I study law and criminology at the University of York at the moment. Bit far, but we move.
Making it work.
um, yeah, and then I'm going on to do just a law masters in September, which is scary, but I'm ready.
You've got it. You've got into the
Yeah,
uni, like, and yeah, you
yeah,
you are
yeah.
ridiculously smart. So
I'm
you'll
good.
smash it. You'll smash it. So, in terms of your fitness journey, what made you decide to start your fitness journey? Like, what was it that gave you the motivation, the first push to get going?
It kind of wasn't like a specific thing that was like, I'm going to start now, this is it. It was like, I was living at uni at the time, and it was really, really expensive living at uni for any student. It's insane living in a city. And I was planning on moving back home so I'd have a little bit more disposable income. So I just kind of decided to join back to the gym because I'd been previously, but it never stuck. And I was kind of just like nosying through the gym app and like, oh, I'll have a look at the PT section. I was just nosying through and I was like, oh, she's got bright orange hair. I'll probably like her. I'm going to give her an email.
Love that, my hair.
And yeah, and then here we are a year and a half later. So that's just kind of
Honestly,
how it happened.
yeah, and the time's
Yeah,
flown, and in that time, you have made incredible progress. Is it
yeah.
over 50 kilograms now that you're down?
Yeah, it's about 51 or 52, which is insane to think about. Like, I could have never thought I'd ever be here at this point. It's just been one of those things where it's like a never ending cycle of losing like 12 pounds and then gaining it back and losing it and gaining it back for the past 21 years of my life because I've always been bigger. So it's always been like that same cycle. I never thought I'd get past that, and it's insane that I'm still losing consistently every week. It's just weird.
Yeah, absolutely smashed it. Like, it's mad looking at your check-in pictures, and if anyone hasn't seen Mackenzie's check-in pictures, she is actually in like my client results, which is pinned to the top of my page. Her transformation picture is just insane. And when I always look at when I go back and do your before and afters, like in your check-ins, it's mad looking at the first one because I can't remember
Yeah,
you looking like that. And
I
you're a
can't.
completely different person.
I genuinely don't remember being like that, and I think it comes from a bit of ignorance and like my family being always being like, "Oh, well, you don't look as big as that person on TV." So it's like one of those like ignorant. I guess ignorance kind of like a harsh word to use, but it is kind of. I
Yeah.
didn't realize how big I was, and my family until recently, my sister literally said, looking at the pictures of you back then, we did not realize how I looked until I've lost a lot of the weight. It's just weird. I don't recognize myself in pictures anymore. It's odd.
Yeah, no, I understand that because like with like I don't know if I've told you like much of like about when my mum decided to lose weight. Like this is obviously years ago, like when she was alive, etc. But my mum before she like years and years before she passed away was quite a big lady, and whenever she went out, she only told me this after, but whenever she went out to like eat or I don't know, go to a theme park, etc., she'd look at other people and she'd be like, well, I'm not as big as them. I'm not as big as them. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. But then when she got a health scare at the doctor, then she was like, shit, I've got to do something. She lost weight not for aesthetics, but just for her own health to get that in check. But then when she did lose weight, she looked again, had the same thing where she'd look at pictures and go, fuck, I didn't realise that I was at that point.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I get that.
Yeah, I'd be like exactly like that at amusement parks, and I'd just be like, well, I could look like that. I think it also didn't help because I know a lot of people tend to not dress as well in a
Mhm.
way. You see a lot of bigger people and they just kind of seem to not care how they look. I feel like that's controversial to say, but I don't really care. But I took a lot of pride in how I dressed to kind of counteract the fact that I was bigger. So I think I kind of hid myself behind like a fake confidence of clothes. So like
Yeah,
I'd wear like a crop top, I'd wear shorts or I'd wear a dress. But inside I was really uncomfortable. But I think because I showed that a confidence, it kind of hid my bigness away, I guess, to other people, if that makes sense.
no, I get that. 'Cause I know when I was a bit bigger, I'd do the same thing. I got really good at being able to choose clothes. To like make me look a certain way. I'm not the best at makeup, but I know there's like some things that you can do with makeup. I used to always like contour underneath my chin and stuff just to make myself
Yeah,
look like 6 years old. I know you're mega at makeup, so you probably do a better job than me. But I try and do like little things like with highlighter. I remember I used to like highlight like my
yeah,
collarbones and stuff like that, just to like make myself
yeah,
look.
to make it look like you had the dip, yeah.
Yeah, and it's just kind of like all this mad stuff that I used to do just to try and look leaner.
I think that's why like my neck area is my favourite part of my whole transformation. Because I feel
Yeah,
like my collarbones are insane. I mean my traps are huge anyway. But I have like insane like
you
dips here that
definitely
I've never ever had.
your delts as well, like when you do lat raises and
Yeah.
pop, it's just yeah, it's mega how much you transformed.
Oh my gosh, where's
Um,
Lucy's?
the light, oh, it's all right.
There we go.
So, what were your biggest struggles with fat loss before starting coaching?
Well, a beginner is I'm autistic, so I have food issues anyway. So I've always, if you know, even people at school, when I was in primary school, they'd ask, oh, do you still only eat curry and rice? Because at one point that was all I'd eat, chicken and curry and boiled rice. And I've always struggled with branching out in different types of food. And I think that was a big part of why I struggled to lose weight as well, because I could only eat certain foods. I tend to binge eat them certain foods at the same time. So a lot of the time it wasn't like the best food. No vegetables, no fruit, no nutritious food, mainly like processed, like out of a tin, out of a packet type of food. So there was nothing really nutritional to it. And that didn't help with the fact that a lot of my family are bigger people, so we were all just used to that's how life is. And we'd all been on diets, never stuck to them. I was at certain groups at one point at the age of like 10, 12, with my mum and my sister counting, what do they call them? What are the
One of them sins, but I can't remember
sins?
the
Yeah,
one. Yeah,
sins. Counting sins.
yeah,
And I was like, I shouldn't be here at 12 years old counting sins because this is I don't even know what sins were. I was just there, and it was
yeah,
just I just never could stick to it, and it was just one of those cycles where I'd completely cut everything out for a week, and then I get to Sunday, I'm like, oh well, I've been good. I'm gonna have something to treat myself, and then it just completely went off the rails, and I was back to eating how I used to eat. Yeah,
yeah. Not gonna honestly, you've come such a far way, especially in branching out with food. I know that's something that we've worked really
yeah,
hard on. Like with the fruit and veg, going from not eating much to I remember calling you out on a check-in and saying like, right, we've got to start eating like an adult now, and we've got to start having some fruit and veg. And we slowly built that up over time from like fruit, and now you're amazing with it. Like every time that I check over my fitness pal, I can just see all the fruits
yeah.
there, and yeah,
I do love my fruit now. It's one of those. At the moment, it's pink lady apples. They're just like sweets for me because they're so sweet. And I'm just like, I can eat like a full pack of pink lady apples if you let me. But
yeah.
not going to. I'll control myself for now.
I've got a grape thing going on at the moment. Like I'm weirdly obsessed with grapes.
Sweet celebrations, they're the best grapes. Yeah,
Like you went through a grape phase, didn't you?
I really did, yeah. Yeah.
I think we all go through a grape phase. I think it's like part of being neurodivergent as well. Like we'll just like get onto
Yeah.
something. It's like this is ours now.
That's funny because my best friend who's ADHD sent me a video of like this guy going into the fridge, picking a grape and keep doing it every so often.
Yeah,
Just because that grapes just they're addictive and the
yeah,
crunch. I
yeah.
could
And I
talk
feel like
for an
it's
hour
so
about
easy to
grapes.
like. It is so easy to eat like a full punnet in one go as well, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. You just pick, don't you? And you're just
Yeah.
like, oh, that's nice, I'll have another one.
That's one of like my video game hacks because like I don't know about you, but when I'm playing games, I like having snacks at the same time.
Yeah.
I'll get like a punnet of grapes, track them in, and I'll just sit there and just munch on them.
I did that. I was watching YouTube and I wanted a bit of a snack, so I had pink lady apples, and I've been liking tinned mandarin segments at the moment because they don't have all the weird
Yeah,
white bits on there.
yeah. I remember you
So
telling
I
me
just
about
had
that.
like, yeah, I had half a tin of that and an apple, and it was beautiful,
You're getting me wanting fruit
amazing.
now. Right. So, what has been your biggest breakthrough or aha moment so far?
Back to like eating veg and expanding my palate a lot more. I'll probably end up talking about my food issues a lot because before January, I'd never touched broccoli in my life, and you wouldn't have caught me eating broccoli in my food. It was all just peppers, onions, or carrots. That was like my limit for a long, long time. And I was like, that'll have to do for now because I'm not there. But one day, it's usually like I don't plan things, I kind of just impulsively do things. So I was like, the little packs you can get from like Tesco, it's like mixed tender stem veg. And I was like, you know what? I'm making a Sunday dinner and I'm going to try some broccoli. And I did, and I'm really proud of myself for it because now I have broccoli in everything.
Love that.
So
And
I'm
what are
very
some
proud of that.
Oh yeah, I'm absolutely buzzing with you. Like I remember like when it clicked and I started seeing like more fruit and veg come up on your MyFitnessPal. I was
Yeah.
like, fucking yes, like she's got it. Like oh, honestly, I think I did like a little happy dance that day when I was looking over you checking. But what like tips or hacks or tricks have you used to help you with getting the fruit and veg in?
For a good, I think it's at least 7 months of my whole fitness journey, blending veg into my food is a big one that I did just to get the nutrients in. So I'd buy like, you can get like frozen casserole packs, and it's like different veg. You have like your carrots, you have your celery, different parts like that. And if I was making like spag bol, I'd blend it into the sauce before I did it, and I'd add that in. And it's like it's what you do to get children to have veg, but it's just it works, and that's just something that I'll probably still do it to this day because sometimes you just don't want your veg. And I did it for my meal prep this week actually. I've done decided to add more broccoli because I wasn't feeling the spinach. So I've doubled the broccoli, and of half of it I've blended into a sauce and half of it I've left. So it's like not overwhelming me with how much broccoli is in my food. So that was a big one. Yeah.
Use like things like putting sauces and gravy and those kind of things
Yeah.
over veg just to make it more palatable for you.
Yeah, I had to do that because I'm on a meal plan at the moment. It's killing me, but I'm ready for these 4 weeks to be done.
I was going to
That's
say
all
it's
I'm
not 5
saying.
weeks anymore, is it? It's 4. Not long left. Not long left.
I was before I've had it changed recently, but before with the eggs, I was having like a really bad time with them because they just weren't for me. The only omelettes I really like are from the Chinese, and they're cooked in pure oil.
Yeah.
So I was like, I got the Chinese curry sauce, and that helped me through big time. And I was putting a bit of MSG in it as well, just to get it as most takeaway like as possible.
Yeah. It's like whatever you gotta do just to get it in.
Yeah,
And as like I
just
always say,
like
like season your food, season it.
sometimes people think it's silly to add so much like little bits to your food when you should just eat it and be normal, I guess, is what a lot of people would say. But for some people, it's just not possible. I mean, me a year ago, I could not have been where I'm at now. Like, I have, with being autistic, it's your brain telling you're not doing that, you're not allowed to eat that, because no. There's no reasoning behind it, it's just no. It's like a whole sensory overload. It's just like, brain's like, no, not today.
Yeah.
Um, but having the, like, incorporating it slowly, as slow as we have done, has helped so much. And just like the little seasonings, the little, like, even blending it, or like I've done now, still having some of the full broccoli into my food, but blending some of it in, so I'm still getting more nutrition, but it's not overwhelming me so much. Which is, I recommend it for anyone that really, really does struggle as much as I have with food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Question. So, how's your energy levels, mood, and confidence changed since working on your health and fitness journey?
I feel like my confidence has grown so much. I mean, I have my days where I'm just not feeling myself. I'm like, get these mirrors covered right now. But I'll be in the gym, and at the moment I'm in like a compression shirt phase, so I like the really tight shirt that like hugs your waist and hugs your arms, and I'll put one of them on and I'm like, ooh, my waist looks tiny today. And it's just those little things that make you think, wow, I'm actually getting somewhere, because sometimes you feel like you're just in a cycle of like, oh, especially because I weigh myself every day for an average, as someone who just sees the daily weight and not doesn't really look at the average, even though I should really. You see that up and down. It can be a bit disheartening when you've gone up, even if it's point 0.1 or like the smallest kg. It doesn't really matter, but it does get to you. But when you do finally see, or the weekly check-in where you see that your waist has gone in or your measurements have gone down, the confidence levels just go so high and you feel really good about yourself. And like I said, I have my down days, but I think I'm the happiest I've genuinely ever been in my life, because I've struggled my whole life with mental health. But the gym and eating healthier, and I mean, having a community with the BodyBalance community, the group chat, always give me a good little laugh. I just feel like I have an outlet to a lot of people who understand where I've been and who understand how hard we all are working right now, and it's great. I love it.
100%. And like just to expand on what you said about like sometimes having down days like with your body image, that is so normal. And a lot of the time, like I do, like if I speak to someone on Instagram or speak to one of the guys on the team checking, etc., sometimes people can have that misconception that a good body image is feeling 10 out of 10 every single day, but it's not. Like it's normal to have those like days where you don't feel the best. Like it could be due to like some life situation that's going on that you might not be able to control, so you're putting those thoughts on you. It might be due to the fact that it's time of the month, so you just feel a little bit low. It can be due to like loads and loads of things. You might have eaten something funny, got a little bit bloated, and you're taking that as something different. There's been lots of things that causes that. Bad night's sleep, all of that jazz. But it's what you do after you have those negative thoughts and how you counteract them, which matters. And you know yourself, you can always come to me if you're struggling to counteract that.
Yeah, definitely.
Helps the rest of the team as well, which, as you said, everyone on the team, whether they're bulking, whether they're cutting, whether they're working on a progress based goal, everyone is trying to be the best version of them, of themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Um,
know I'm always messaging you like, I'm having, my brain's telling me this, please tell me it's not true.
yeah,
And you're
yeah.
like, no, of course it's not true. You know it's not true.
Was it like, I'm sure it was like very soon from when you first started and I told you to like have off plan meals and you were just like, oh, I'm
Yeah.
not too sure about this. And I was like, just have it, enjoy it, and like just get back on top of it.
Yeah, I started like a month and a bit before Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
So we had like an off plan meal, like two off plan meals for Christmas and stuff. And I was just like, whoa, I did not know this was a thing that I could do.
Days, wasn't it? So you had the two off planned days for Christmas, and then
Yeah,
I put everyone on
one
maintenance
for my
for
birthday.
Christmas. And I remember like you messaging me,
Yeah,
like, I'm not sure. And I'm like, just enjoy it, have a good day.
yeah.
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah,
smashed it.
because I had, obviously it was my birthday as well, so I was like having drinks and stuff, and I was like, this doesn't feel like a diet right now. This seems wrong. But I'm always messaging like, I need validation, help me, please.
But yeah, we don't diet on birthdays. We don't diet on
No,
birthdays. Don't diet on Christmas. 100% not.
unless you're on prep.
Unless I'm, yeah, like me this year. But yeah, if I'm not on prep, I'm not. I'm not tracking. I'm not opening my fitness pal, and I don't expect any of you guys to do it either. Like I think I even meant I do actually mention when everyone's checking if I see something tracked in on Christmas Day. Like I won't be happy.
I know I've only ever tracked it just to keep my streak on my fitness pal.
Really.
Lewis has done the same. So he's like tracks like just in snacks a little just to keep a streak.
Like I
That's
have
just
one
autism for you.
something. Yeah, it's like you need to keep it up.
Yeah.
To be fair, I'd be
Gonna have
surprised if
that
one
as
hasn't
well.
done that.
Yeah, I can imagine him doing that to be fair, yeah.
Yeah, it's the sort. So, on your journey, what challenges have you faced and what have you done to overcome?
Again, back to food. I have been labelled fussy my whole life. I've been taken to the doctors about how fussy I've ate before, and they've just always been like, oh, she'll grow out of it. Never did. I still am. You put anything that I don't like near me, I'm going to roundhouse kick you in the face, get it away from me.
I remember like
Um,
trying you on cheese. I was like, can we like try
it's
this? And you
like,
just messaged me back and was like, no cheese.
stay away with that one, you're not getting cheese. Unless it's like Quavers or What's It's or a cheesecake, you're not getting it near me.
And
No.
was there something else in your meal plan and you tried it for a little bit and was like, no, I can't remember what it was. Like when we first,
Avocado.
yeah, avocado. When you first put it on
Yeah.
your plan and you were like mixing it into things and then you were like, no, can we change
I,
this? So we switched.
I
What did you
couldn't.
switch it out for? Was it nuts?
Yeah.
Another fat sauce? Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely love them. That's one of my favourite parts of the day, having my 15 grams of salted milk. It's so depressing, but I put it in my porridge, so it's like a bit of crunch. It's lovely.
I get that because
Yeah.
it's like not at the moment because obviously I'm bulking now and like I am on a meal plan, but like I'm making my own meal plans because like my
Yeah.
appetite went a little bit on my bulk. But I know when I was like prepping for that photo shoot, and I know it'll happen again when I do prep for my comp this year, is my yogurt with my blueberries and my like jelly crystals. Whenever I had that on an evening, I'd just sit and just savor it and just be just
It's so good. I love Greek yogurt. It's so good with the jelly crystals. It's like a frube, but for
yeah.
adults.
It's the
I
best hack
absolutely
that
love
I
it.
give to anyone because Greek yogurt on its own, I'm not a huge fan of. But when you put
Yeah.
those jelly crystals on it, as you said, it just tastes like a kid's yogurt, and it's just like I can eat. I can eat. You know those big? Is it? I'm sure it's like 300-gram tubs of bloody Fage that you can
Oh,
get.
there's like a
Yeah,
900 gram one. I could go
yeah.
through
It's
that.
like you can go through that jelly
Yeah.
crystals sound. It's like easy work.
To to be fair, because I work early on a weekend. These have you seen the new tubs of protein yogurt, Greek style yogurt at Aldi? I've been getting one of them. It's like 400 grams, which is perfect for my 2 yogurt meals. And I've just been having that, just in the pot, eating that with the jelly crystals.
Yeah,
It's absolutely amazing.
yeah. If it works, go for it.
Yeah, and it's bloody lovely. Yeah,
I love how we're sharing like little tips and tricks on this as well.
you've if no one else does, you've got to start somewhere, haven't you?
100%. And it's like, as you mentioned about like the group chat as well, what I love about that group
Yeah,
chat is that if someone finds like a new, I don't know, like protein crisps or I know, don't think it was Kath. Don't think it was Kath. Kim, it was Kim. Kim posted about like protein cookies.
yeah, yeah. I
And
saw
I went
those.
and got some protein cookies. It's when like
Yeah,
people will post things like that into the group. It's like, oh, this is a game changer. Because I obviously I don't go to every bloody shop, so it's when
yeah,
the other guys on the team was like, oh, I've just found this, it's amazing, and people feedback to how good it was as well.
yeah.
Yeah, love it.
I like the new. Have you seen the protein caramel lattes from Aldi?
Yes, yeah, yeah,
20 gram. They're so good. I could drink a lot of that.
yeah.
It's yummy.
Yeah, I've tried and I mean everyone's different. I know with me like I like to eat my food, but let's say there's a day that I'm struggling or I'm busy, those things like the protein lattes or like protein
Yeah,
shakes stuff like that are just really handy, just like to get calories in and of course
yeah.
protein as well.
Very true.
So
Vimto protein saved me
oh
last year.
yeah, yeah.
It absolutely saved me.
I'm sure it was the Vimto protein that Terry made sweets out of. She made like little jelly
Ooh,
things, yeah.
I need to do that.
Yeah, and I
I
know
love,
I was making
yeah,
ice lollies out of them over summer. Like I get the clear whey and make like a load of ice lollies.
yeah,
It'd be like one portion of like Vimto clear whey, and I
yeah.
put it in like an ice lolly thing, and I pretty much eat like 6 ice lollies with my serving of clear protein.
That would be really good, like, prepping.
It's a game changer. I do it with like
Yeah,
I'm not a huge fan of BCAAs personally, but if you get a BCAA which has got like a decent flavour in it, I mean to be fair,
not
you can
very
do it
often.
cordial. You can do it cordial. At the end of the day, you can get cordial,
Yeah,
mix it into lollies, put it in an ice lolly pack, and there you go. Like
yeah.
like bugger all calories.
Well, you know what I'm doing when I
Yeah,
get done
ha-
here, making ice lollies.
especially because like
Yeah,
the end of my prep will it be in summer, so
yeah.
I will be utilising that.
Just pure. You'll be bringing them to the gym.
Yeah, well, I'm sure it's one of again Terry's hacks as well. You know the I can't remember what they're called, but they're like the ice lollies and they're like long. I know I used to live on them
Yeah,
when I was a kid. Yeah, and you like
yeah,
cut it and you just slide it out. Like she had
yeah,
to
yeah,
go through a whole box of them because I'm sure they're like 50 calories or something for a whole box. They're so much cheaper anyway. It might not be 50 calories, like don't
yeah.
quote me on that,
You're
but I
giving
know
me good ideas.
yeah, it's something silly. Even for example, like if you do get BCAA or EAAs or supplement creatine flavored protein powder. You
Yeah,
can blend it, put it in ice lollies, there you go, or a slushy if you have a slushy machine. I don't, but
yeah.
I know people that have done that before.
You could. I'm sure you can make slushies with your Ninja Creamy.
You can, yeah, you can.
Yeah,
Oh, that's happening
there
over.
you go.
That's happening when I'm
Yeah,
prepping. Like a load of slushies constantly. I'll be there on check-in just eating a slushie.
you'll have to do that for the retreat this time instead of ice cream. Just slushies for everyone.
100%, yeah, because I
Protein
won't have.
slush. Yeah,
I mean, I will have the calories for creamies, but I'll be following a meal plan, so I might not be allowed.
yeah.
We'll see. Right. Have you noticed any changes beyond just weight loss? So, strength, mindset, relationship with food.
My fitness in general is just insane. I mean, I ran a 5K last year, which I don't like running. I still don't, to be honest. I didn't like it while I was doing it, but I was really proud of myself because I kind of committed to it and I was like, I can't stop now. So I kind of just accidentally trained and ran for a 5K and somewhat enjoyed it during. And I was really, really proud of how, not obviously it wasn't quick the time, but it was quick for me
It was
from
amazing.
going.
It was like 45 minutes or something.
Yeah, from like under a year ago, I couldn't even run a minute without having an asthma attack. To running a 5K without stopping was insane. Also, absolutely love strength training. It kills me off sometimes. I mean, my quads are killing me from barbell squats. Yeah, like my quads are killing me. My quads are always killing me though. But I just love strength training. I love lifting weights. It's fun. Don't necessarily love my circuit, but I almost have fun at the same time. It's like a love hate relationship.
Like I know what one of your aims is to compete in a high rocks competition as well.
Yeah,
So unfortunately,
I
circuit.
think I could bang that out really quick. I can't lie
I think you can
because
do
I
it now.
know everyone's like,
No,
I
was it like
do.
end of the year you've got hopes of doing that or early next year?
Yeah, I think in a year I could do that in under like an hour and 15.
Yeah, because
And I
you
know that's
are really really fit. Like again, burpees, you've got everything in your. I was
yeah.
actually saying to no, it was Sandra I was saying it to that you're the only person on the team that's got burpees in the plan.
I'm just I'm
Yeah,
just
and I
so
think
good. What can I say?
you're because I don't enjoy burpees. Hold my hands up. I'm just because I started training for a high rocks and then I realised I've got to fucking start doing burpees in this and I was like, yeah, this is
Yeah.
not a bit of me. It involves burpees,
I
no.
actually don't mind them. Maybe I'm doing them wrong, but I don't mind them.
No, you're doing them right. I keep an eye on you when you're doing them.
You're just watching me.
Yeah, because obviously we're progressing. Yeah, we didn't go from like zero to full on burpees.
But
We
no.
started you out with like the step out burpees, and now we're on like
Yeah.
basic burpees, and then we'll get into like the push up burpees as well.
Yeah. The push
Yeah,
ups ones are probably what's going to kill me off.
yeah, because the
But
high rock
at the
ones,
moment, I can't remember.
because the ones in high rocks are like the traveling burpees where you do like a burpee and a
Yeah.
jump. Yeah,
Yeah. I
so
feel like
we'll
I
get
just
them on.
need to get a good jump on me. And then is it 500 metres, I think? That'll be well easy. I'll only have to
But
do
yeah,
like three.
the run for you will be a piece of piss. Like we don't even have to worry about that
Yeah.
at all. Yeah,
Yeah. I think the thing that's going to kill me off in the high rocks is the wall balls and the ski erg. Two things I can't stand: wall balls and ski erg.
See, I think you'll be fine
Absolutely
with
awful.
it. I know you don't like it. I know it's your sworn worst enemy, but because you've done it for so much, I think you just smash it
Yeah.
out.
I mean, the fact that you went from 10 to 20 in my last phase was absolutely big jump. I have to have like a 2 second break halfway through because I'm like dead. But to be fair, it's not like you have to do the calories for high rocks. Is it the meters?
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
distance. Yeah,
So,
same with the sled push as well, and the
yeah.
pull, like the rope pull with the sled.
Yeah.
Same with the run again distance. Wall balls is a certain amount, but you've got to get it up to a certain
Yeah.
height. Yeah.
You know what? I was looking at the weights for the wall ball and it's 4 kg. And I can do it with 6 just about. I mean, I nearly knock myself out every time, so that means if I do it with 4, easy.
Yeah. Yeah, so always, and this is something that I'll say to everyone that if they're doing a competition, is especially a sport specific competition, is try and train a little bit heavier than what you'd think. And it's what I was doing on the 10K as well, is that I was training to be a little bit faster than what I wanted. I was doing like a little bit more distance than what I wanted. I obviously mixed stair mill into my running training as well, because when we did Delamere together, I kind of assumed that there'd be some hills in there. So I added the stair mill in
Yeah,
to help me, and I'm really glad that I did because as you was on the same course as well, it starts off with a massive hill.
yeah. Well, I think the 10k go a different way than the 5k because
Oh,
you
did you
went
not
left
start
and
off
we
on
went
it?
right. There were a
Oh,
couple of hills,
yeah, it was a really hilly
but it
course.
wasn't. I don't think it was nearly as bad as the 10k.
Yeah, because I know when you finish well on the course that we did last year,
Hmm.
2024, all of the 5K and the 10K lot all end in the same place. And I remember obviously that meeting up with Emma at the end, and we were both like, we were running up this like never-ending hill. It was like it was not overly steep, but it just was forever on a hill, and we were like, what the hell is going on here? It's like,
Because I know the 5k's and the 10k's met at certain points, but then like we'd go off and then you'd go off for like a couple of kilometers. Because I know there was like a 10 miler as well. It's like, no,
yeah,
thank
there
you.
was loads. We had to like follow the signs. I know I got
Yeah,
like really annoyed because like one of my shoes, I think it's because I ran through a puddle, my shoes kept on
yeah.
coming undone, and I was like, for fuck's sake, I
Oh,
had to stop, retie my shoe, and then carry on. I was just like, oh,
could have got an extra 5 minutes.
exactly, yeah. And then I ended up getting like stuck in a queue at a water station as well, and I was just kind of like, I need to
Oh,
move around just.
to be fair, I didn't need a drink.
I
When I run, I it's done it again. If I drink too much, I get sick, so I can't drink too much when I'm running. Because I had like a fancy little water bag backpack
yeah,
thing to keep my stuff in. I had water in it as well, so that kind of was a good thing that I didn't have to stop for things like that.
yeah,
Yeah,
as well. But like, I tried to get like a sip. I think I was like halfway through, and I was like, oh, I'll just have like a little sip because I can feel my mouth getting a bit dry because it was cold on that day. And I tried to like suck it up, and it just weren't coming up, and I was just like, oh, and I was just like, I'll
like
just deal with
losing your
it.
breath trying to do
Yeah,
it.
I was like, I was using more energy trying to like run at the same time, and I was like, like dying. It was just like, this is not anything efficient. Like, I need to just fucking get on with it. It's like I'll deal with
Oh,
it.
I forgot that it was pissing down, wasn't it, the whole time?
Yeah, I don't know, like on the hills they were fine, but I have this weird thing of going down hills. So every time we
Yeah,
went down a hill, I was pretty much walking going down the hill because I
because you
just
didn't
didn't
want
want
to
to
slip.
slip. I just have this fear of slipping. And I remember talking to Rach at the end of it, and she was a complete opposite with me because like she didn't like the hills going up, and on the way
Yeah,
down she'd sprint down it, and I'd pretty much sprint up the hills. And then on the way down, I was like a little grandma being like, "Ooh,"
no, I
like coming down.
because falling is so embarrassing for me. Like
Yeah.
it's one of my worst nightmares, falling in front of people.
Yeah.
Like it's horrible, the idea of it. I don't know why.
I just have this vision, like I know this is proper like pussy mentality, but I just had this vision that I'd slip, fall, hurt something, and have to like walk the rest of the race, and it's like my ego wouldn't let me do that,
Yeah,
so it was like I'll just grandma walk down this like down
I'll
the
spare you a
branches for
minute.
dear life.
Yeah. Don't fall, don't fall.
Yeah, honestly, there was one guy that like nearly grabbed onto me as well because like I didn't fully slip, but like my foot went on me and I panicked and like
Yeah.
he grabbed hold of me and I was completely fine, but I was just being a drama
Oh.
queen about it. But yeah, fun day out running. Yeah.
The cookie things afterwards were absolutely beautiful though.
Yeah, like I froze mine because I was on that photo shoot prep, but when I
Yeah.
had it like later on, oh, it was
I
divine.
ate mine instantly.
Oh, absolutely divine. I was so jealous watching you all, but yeah, it was beautiful when I got a chance to eat it. Same with like the
Lovely.
brownies on the AK shoot as well.
Oh
Like when I had
yeah.
those as well. Yeah.
Oh, what was my favourite was? I think the AK ones were my favourite. The brookie one. Oh my god, absolutely gorgeous.
Whereas this year we're getting for the Eddie shoot we're getting Cookie Champion cookies and
Yeah,
they'll I won't even bother
I've been
freezing
looking
them.
at them pictures.
Yeah, I'll just
I've been showing Lewis like, haha, you don't get one of these.
get these. But yeah, I've told people like I'd advise people to halve them and share them. One, because you get a different flavour, but two, it's I find it quite hard to eat a full one. I have done in the past, but it's like it'll fill me up for like half a day. But
Yeah,
it's their own. We'll see how
I
you
can
are
just
at
eat
the
one of
shoot.
those bad boys. I might half it just to have another flavour, but I don't think it'll last past the doors, to be honest. I mean,
Yeah,
last year at the shoot, I finished that brownie instantly.
yeah, and that'll be the beginning of my prep as well, which is exciting.
Yeah, a little send off.
Yeah, like the start of it, they'll be like almost like my before pictures before prep. I get in like
Yeah,
all deep into it. So with with your fitness journey, how has it impacted other areas of your life? So career, relationships, daily habits, things like that.
I am so much less lazy now than I used to be. My mum might say different, but that's cleaning wise. Before basically, I used to just go to uni sometimes, and other than that, I did fuck all. I'd lay in bed, watch telly, eat, and that was it. Now I'm like consistently getting 10,000 steps a day, which is insane because I couldn't even hit 3,000 when I first started. And like, I'm so much more confident in myself. I have a partner now. 2 years ago, I was not confident to even speak to a person in a romantic way because I was just uncomfortable in my body. But now I'm like always on my feet. I'm like a lot healthier. I'm a lot more confident in my body. I have a partner. I'm just so much happier in like most aspects of my life, and just daily habits are just insanely different to 2 years ago. And it's weird because me 2 years ago looking at me now would be like, why are you doing all that shit? Just stay in bed. But now I'm just like, I can't sit still because my brain just starts wanting to get things done.
Honestly, you've blossomed and it's just been incredible to watch your whole journey because I remember us again when you were first starting out on your journey. I remember you just starting to talk to me about Lewis.
Yeah,
Like your first like you going on dates and stuff and I'm just like it's
yeah.
whole journey's just been amazing to watch. Like
You
not
were
only
there
on
for the whole
that,
relationship.
yeah. He's like we've had a long it's like what Terry says about me and John. Like we've had a long
Yeah.
relationship.
Well, didn't I like, oh, didn't we meet? We had like a session on our like 1 year anniversary of me being in the team, and I was like, it's our 1 year. Where's my
No, I love
card
it.
and the flower?
Yeah,
It
everyone
is
seems
like
to
a
do that
relationship.
with anniversaries. It's like I'll say that to people. It's kind of like it's our anniversary. Like it's lovely.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I do enjoy it, and I'll probably do it again this year. It's
yeah.
going fast.
We'll get like a session in on our anniversary.
Yeah,
Romantic gym.
definitely. We have to bring each other a present.
Yeah, more sets, more burpees.
Oh, I don't know about that one. Never mind then.
Yeah, it's like no, we'll just avoid the present then, thanks. Right. So, what are you most proud of achieving so far in your journey?
Just how different I am as a person in general, how I've changed so much for the better. That's a little wicked quote for you there, if anyone gets that. Like, I'm just such a better human being than I was, and I'm really proud of that. Which I feel like a lot of people would be like, oh, I look so good, and that's what I'm proud of. But I'm just proud of how I am as a human now compared to how I was a year or two ago, even like 6 months ago. I feel like I have just a better mindset on life. I mean, I have an insane mental health days where I'm like, fuck all this, I'm going to bed.
Yeah.
But I'm so much better at getting out of that now and just understanding that we have these days. And I'm just really proud of how far I've come from being like a very depressed human being in bed for 24 hours a day, barely getting out of my room.
You've smashed it both inside and out. Like even just going back to when we first started deadlift training and you was on a kettlebell deadlift to now with your
Yeah.
deadlift, it's just mega. And you started doing pull-up training as well.
Yeah, I feel like that's a big one for a lot of people, especially if you're a bigger person. Going on like a journey of pull-ups is always like a huge thing because they're so hard.
Yeah, yeah, and you're smashing it. And same with like your major compound movements, like your barbell squats as well. Leg
Yeah.
press, like flying on leg press, like those kinds of movements.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that I don't have leg press anymore is like a blessing and a curse because I feel like it will get so heavy, but also that's kind of like an ego boost of like how much I can push on a leg press.
Yeah, you'll get it back again, don't worry.
It's been ages.
Yeah, we've got more like
Just
functional
letting you know.
movements now.
Yeah.
So going back to the team, what made you choose body balance coaching? And obviously you was initially attracted to the hair, but
Yeah.
then when we sat down and had a chat, what made you go, yeah, like she's the woman for me, she's just gonna help me.
You weren't instantly turned off by the fact that I was so broken food wise. I mean, I think the first thing I said to you was like, good luck, you have got your work cut out for you.
I remember you saying
And
that.
yeah, that was one of the first things I said to you, and you were like, we're gonna get in good places. And I was like, yeah, sure we are. And I just think we got along so well instantly. I think you as a human make body balance, obviously, it's your business, but you can have a business and be a shit person. But you're just such a genuinely lovely person. You're so educated and you love learning, and I think that's such a inspiring thing, and you lead so well by doing what you're telling others to do. So like you're prepping, I know obviously that was like a big decision for you to make because you were unsure about that, but that is so inspiring for people like me who are like, so she does get it, she has been through the hard times of like eating fuck all food and trying to lose a lot of weight. Obviously, it's in different contexts because you're performing, but I think you just lead. Like I know one of your big things is leading from the front, and you do that so well, and that's what sold me. Because obviously you join and you're like, oh, we'll just see how it goes, but you're just so genuinely amazing. And I think that's what made me like, I'm not going. I'm staying here now. You're not getting rid of me.
I didn't pay her to say that, by the way, guys. I'm just like,
Counts money down here.
yeah, it's like I'll send you a check later.
I'm just trying to stay the favourite. What can I say?
Yeah. But yeah, that's obviously amazing to hear, and it is something that I hold myself to because I can't tell anyone on the team to do X, Y, and Z if I'm not doing that. I can't give you guys advice or hold you to a high standard or give you that tough love if I also don't do the same thing. Like me telling you, like nearly 1.5 years ago, eat like an adult. I do that as well. And when I slip, because I'm a human, I do slip sometimes. I'll tell myself, Siobhan, you're eating like a fucking 5-year-old. Eat like an adult. And I say this stuff to myself as well. Yeah. And it's like, if I didn't do that, I wouldn't be able to tell you guys to do it.
I also feel like there's a lot of PTs where it's like you give them your money and then they just give you a plan and that's it. But you're so like hands on with every single one of your clients online, in person. Even like the people that message you just on Instagram, you get so deeply involved because you care so much, which is not a lot of coaches these days, because everyone's a coach these days. I feel like everyone's getting into it. But there's more of being, just having like a coaching much qualification and actually caring, and you have that, and that is what's so different compared to a lot of people.
Yeah, something like before I moved to Ascendancy, when me and the owner Clayton had a chat, he was just like, everyone on the dog's got a PT qualification. It's like 100, I 100% agree. And I always say this, when I did my level 3 PT, I didn't learn anything. A lot of it, I went through the course and I was like, I'm just going to get through this, say X, Y, and Z answers to pass the test. But I knew that X, Y, and Z answers were based on really old research because obviously I'd invested in myself with other courses, walking the walk, for years beforehand. I was obsessed with it. I kept on going on bloody, like, again, bodybuilding.com and like research sites to learn, buying all bloody books that I've got behind me on muscle and fitness and health, just learning that when I was going through my level 3 PT, I was just like, this is to help me get my insurance. So, and you're right, I do genuinely care about everyone, and I want everyone to be the best version of themselves. Like I remember putting in the group a while back when I was getting close to the end of my photo shoot prep, and I was like, I don't want an army of mini me's. That I just want you to be the best version of yourselves and what that looks like for you. Like, let's fucking go for it. And it's why, like, people on the team, obviously they'll have like the same exercises. Not everyone has the same exercises, but usually like everyone will do the leg press at some point in their training plan. But everyone's training plan looks completely different. And when I realise there's a style of training that you love, we go for it. Like, for example, like Becca, who's now training in terms of powerlifting, Annette's got a similar style program because she just loves that style of training. But we've got like a lot more back and delt volume because that's the areas that
Yeah.
she wants to bring up. I've noticed that you like more functional work as well, but of course we care about the aesthetic side of things. Got Chris who adores the functional work. So
Yeah.
more of his stuff is going more to that and Olympic lifting and again circuit style training because we've found that okay he likes this, and obviously as time goes on we'll tweak and tweak and tweak to keep you loving your training. And then there's
Yeah.
people on the team who it's just kind of like not strict bodybuilding training, but like they'll essentially have bodybuilder style training because it's aesthetics. So it's all about you guys at the end of the day,
Yeah.
what you want to achieve.
I just adore how much you love learning as well because you're always doing something to better yourself. I think that's so inspiring, especially coming from like someone who's younger. It's like I need to be as good as you are at like pushing yourself, making bettering yourself every single week. Because I feel like you're always on something new to like better yourself,
Yeah.
and I think it's just insane.
Yeah, and obviously you know that I'm on prep this year and I've been getting that itch to do another course. And like everyone's telling me to calm down and not do another course because obviously I've got prep, I've got the business, etc. Whereas what I'm doing instead is like I'm reading a lot of like non-fiction books, I'm listening to podcasts, I'm listening to audio books to still keep that learning, but I can do at the same time. And that's somewhat satisfying my itch.
I was watching another person's podcast the other day, and they were interviewing a girl who literally runs while reading. So she'll run like 3 miles and she's reading a book, and I'm like, insane. Could not be me. I can't even focus on breathing.
I can do that on the stair mill, but I can't do it when whilst running yet.
I don't think I can even do it then. I'm just like fighting for my life. I'm like just trying to survive and get it done.
It's just time, I guess, and just learn it, just like
Yeah.
Dennis. I remember when I was trying to learn how to play video games whilst walk on my stepper, is that I started it super, super slow, and I'd turn it
Hmm.
up and then turn it up and turn it up, and like now I'm walking at a decent pace. I think it was 4.5 the last one that I did when I was playing
Yeah.
games, and it's like, I mean, in prep because I'll probably have a ridiculous amount of steps to do. That'll be a lot higher.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I figured out writing essays while doing the steps is key, just for making it go faster, because your brain's completely focused on something else. That's my big thing. So I'm like, summer, come on, because I want to get loads of steps in.
It's such a hack with cardio is like finding something like reading, playing video games, watching Netflix, listening to podcasts. I sometimes will go and watch like crime YouTubers and stuff when I'm on the stair
Yeah.
mill. Or you can use it as a way to be productive, like as you said, watching seminars, doing essays. I like sometimes answer comments, messages. I'll do form feedback when I'm on the stepper. I'll sometimes edit content when I'm on the stepper, just using that time to be productive as possible. Like if you were busy, It's such a hack to get through cardio. So how has your experience been different from other things that you've tried?
I've never actually had any proper coaching before. It was completely like, it wasn't even like I was thinking about it. I just kind of did it. It was like impulsive. Um, so like what I said before, I've been on like the commercial diet clubs before at way too young of an age. And that was just like a cycle of like cutting your calories really low for unnecessary reasons and then giving in and binging. And it was just like a never ending cycle of just badness, I guess. Obviously, I'd done diets by myself before, but that was pretty much the same, just cutting it way too low and then giving up and binging. I'd been overweight since probably about year three. So I'd been told off by the doctors a lot for that. So I'd been to like dietitians before, I'd been to like, it was like this club once, it was like for overweight kids, and we went to, Saint Stadium. It was at there. So we go there and they'd like teach us about nutrition and stuff. And we'd do like a little bit of an exercise thing. And it was like just nothing ever stuck. It was never catered for anyone like me. Obviously I wasn't diagnosed with anything then, even though it was obvious, but that's another story. It was never catered to actually help me. It was just generic. And I think that's what's so different. Like, you make sure that each person, even though, like you said, we may have similar exercises, everything's catered for that person to make sure that they progress to their best ability. And that is what's different than anything I've done before. And I mean, this sounds a bit bad, but there's also like money invested into it. So it's kind of like if you don't do it, you're wasting money that you might not have.
Yeah,
So I feel like that's also a push for me as a uni student. It's like if I don't do this, I'm losing money as a uni student who doesn't necessarily have as much disposable income as others. So that is a really big push for me as well.
yeah. A lot of people don't really, well, coaches, I don't ever really hear them talk about it, but and no one really does talk about it. But investing, yes, obviously with coaching your fitness journey, you'll be investing your time, but yes, you will be investing your money, and you should really invest in terms of like financially, because it's part of the incentive to make you do it. Because
Yeah,
let's be honest, because I've been there as well on like free challenges and this, that, and the other. You don't value it because there isn't that exchange. Because as I said, I've been on like all the free challenges. I remember back when I was a uni student, and there was like a 15-minute hit thing every single day, and it was like a free app on like the App Store, and I did it
yeah,
twice, then just fell off.
because it kills you off.
Yeah, it kills you off. I couldn't walk like after 2 days. I mean, the second day I was just kind of like in bits anyway, and I just cracked on anyway. But because there wasn't that incentive, because if I didn't do it, I'm not gonna lose anything. Like I'll just download another app or I'll do it at another time, and there's also no one there to hold you to that accountability too.
Yeah,
Whereas with
it's
coaching,
like,
no, carry
I
on.
was gonna say it's like doing like the YouTube videos. You'll type in easy workouts to do every day, and you do it like once or twice. Your legs hurt the next day. It's like I'm never doing this one again.
Yeah,
Bye.
even something as simple like again when I lived in London, I did this like a yoga 30-day yoga challenge. I don't think I ever made it past day 10, and then I'd like fall off the wagon there and then start again on day one. It's like I never got past bloody day
Yeah,
10. Yeah, and again, I think a big part of that is that actual person holding you accountable. Like you know yourself. Like I don't actually think you've missed a check-in, but if you do miss a check-in, then I'll message you and be like, "Yo,
yeah,
where's your check-in? What's going on? Are you
yeah.
okay?"
I think
That.
I missed once because it was Lewis had just joined you, so I was helping him out because
Yeah, I
I'd
remember
already done
that.
mine. And I was like, shit, I forgot to send mine in because I was helping him to do it. So I was like, fuck's sake.
Yeah. Whereas like you know that I'll check in on you and make sure you're
Yeah,
okay. Yeah, I'll hold you to that high standard. So if you've told me I'm going to do X, Y, and Z next week and you don't, I'll be like, what the fuck, McKenzie?
yeah,
But again, that's a way of me holding you to that high standard, holding you accountable, and ultimately getting your results.
yeah.
Yeah. So what specific parts of the coaching process has helped you the most?
You being my coach has helped me the most. Just having someone there to tell me, like, you. not doing this right. Well, not well, you don't really put it like that, but just telling me like what to do and like how to be better dieting or training. Just having someone there to motivate me and be there for me in ways that family members don't really do, because like I feel like you've said before, you're empathetic, but you're not gonna like baby your clients. You're there to get results, and I think that is such a great way to go about it, because if you just baby me, I'm gonna take advantage of that and we're gonna get nowhere, and that is a big part of the coaching process. Plus I love how personalised it is. I love the little app that we have. I can like have a nosy and everything, look at my new workouts. And like I said before, the community that we have is so amazing. I love everyone. I've made some really good friends. Sorry, my nose is really blocked. I'm not crying. I've got a cold. Sounds like I'm about to cry. I'm not, don't worry. I know what to say. The community is just so lovely, and we're all sending like TikToks to each other and having a laugh. And someone will post something, we're just like, "Oh my god, you look amazing!" And it's just really, it's just so, it's just a space that I'd never thought I'd be involved in, because it's not something I ever thought I could be involved in, just as a bigger person. But it's insane, and I love every part of it, and I'm never leaving. So you're not getting rid of me anytime soon.
Brilliant. I love that. Like, yeah. And as you said, like as a coach, I'm empathetic, but I'm not sympathetic. And
Yeah,
that's because I respect you all too much. Like you're all adults. I'm not going to be there, it's okay. It's been like your fifth week in a row where you haven't done what I've asked you to. I'd be like,
yeah,
obviously making sure everything's okay, like what's going on, what's the reason that that's happening, and then going, right, let's solve it. Let's let's not have pity parties. Let's find the solution and get you out of what's going on, because that's my job at the end of the day. Like everyone on the team has hired me for whatever result that they want. So it's that is my mission to make sure that you get there. And yes, obviously there'll be obstacles along the way, 100%. But it's me being empathetic and letting me let's go overcome that obstacle together. That's my job.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you do
So
it very well.
no. Again, guys, not paid her to say this. What's been your favourite part of us working together?
I think it's just so fun going to the gym, and when I'll even come in, like the other day, I came in a bad mood, and I was like, just having a shitty one, and we'd come in, and they're just fun. Even when I'm like doing a dumbbell shoulder press, and I'm like, can we not do any more? I'm gonna cry. You just like cry then, but
Like,
it's
cry,
just, it's just,
rest.
yeah, it's just really. I just really enjoy myself, which is weird. Why would I enjoy exercising? But I do. Like a lot, and you just make it so fun, even when it's really hard. I'm just enjoying it, and we have good little chats as well. We'll be like
Yeah,
gossiping about something that's going on.
yeah. It's like in between the work, in between the progress and getting shit done, we have a laugh at the same time.
Yeah, because I
Yeah,
mean, all those memes where it's like, "Oh, I've got to tell you this," and your PT is like, "But get this set done first." It's just
yeah.
so real.
It's so true. It's like, I know you're
I
procrastinating, Mackenzie. Like, we need to do this set. Yeah.
was going to use my masters for that tomorrow. Damn.
So, because I'm aware that we have been chatting for quite a while now, we'll have this as the last question. So, if you could go back in time, back to the past version of you, what advice would you give yourself before starting?
It wouldn't be anything like serious or anything. Just allow yourself to be uncomfortable sometimes, because I still have this problem. Not as bad now. I don't let myself get uncomfortable. So like moving new gyms, that was a big uncomfortable thing for me to do. Like I was very comfortable where I was at. Like I knew well, not everyone. I knew a lot of the people there. I knew where everything was, but I was also starting to get a little bit thingy, because it was like kids there anyway.
Yeah.
But moving to a new gym was really hard in a lot of ways, because I was so comfortable where I was. But when I was like a year or two ago, I don't let myself sit in the uncomfortableness or put myself in situations that would have bettered me, but I was too uncomfortable to do it. So I think that's one thing I would definitely say, just let yourself be uncomfortable sometimes, because it's not always a negative feeling. It's just a feeling that you have because you have anxiety, and that's just what that is. But it's okay to sit in that sometimes, and you can be better for that, because I could have done so much in life if I'd allowed myself to be uncomfortable.
Yeah, 100%. And that's a point that I get with a lot of people who start coaching, like even people that I speak to in my DMs, even myself sometimes, because it's very natural and normal for us as humans to seek comfort because comfort is safety.
Yeah,
Whether a little quote that I always go back to is comfort is the enemy, because if you're comfortable, you're not growing, you're not pushing yourself, you're
yeah,
not doing what you're capable of. So things like exercise, getting uncomfortable with those reps, pushing yourself in terms of like going to a new gym to build your confidence, getting into the weight area again, you might be
yeah,
uncomfortable, but then with that discomfort, we'll gain confidence, we'll gain skills, we'll gain knowledge. Again, we'll gain that mental resilience as well. Dieting, unfortunately, hunger's uncomfortable, but if you want to lose body fat, you've got to be there. You've got to have that little bit of discomfort, and yeah, like
that was a
it's
big one for me. Like
yeah,
learning that the uncomfortableness of being too full is not being satisfied by your food, but leaning into the uncomfortableness of being slightly hungry. That was a really hard thing for me to understand. It took me over a year to get that, and I've
yeah.
only just started to get it now.
100%, and I was there too. I remember like trying everything under the sun to not be hungry. I'm going to do this
Yeah,
so I'm not hungry. I'm going to try this diet because they've said that I'm not going to be hungry, when actually I just needed to face it and go, be
yeah,
fucking hungry, because that's a normal signal that you are in a calorie deficit, which if you
yeah,
want to lose body fat, that's where you need to be. So again, it's something that I feel like everyone needs to face at some point. And even when you're not in a diet or you're in a surplus, there are still going to be times when you're hungry, because hunger doesn't necessarily mean that you're in a deficit. Like it might
yeah.
mean that you're tired, that you're maybe getting like a little bit ill. Some people get more hungry when they're ill. You might
Oh, I
be
do.
thirsty, you might be emotional, you might be PMSing, and that might be hunger. You might be
Yeah,
bored, you might be procrastinating because you don't want to face that email for work or whatever. It's we can hunger can come about from lots of different reasons. And
hmm,
again, if you're not on a diet, you might feel hungry, and sometimes it's going, okay, why? Oh, it's because I haven't drank anything today. Maybe I should drink first.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
That's good.
yeah, it's important to face, just with anything. Comfort is the enemy always.
Yeah,
And I'll
definitely.
leave this podcast on that note. But thank you so much for joining me today, Mackenzie. Like I've loved having a little natter. And I'm
Pleasure.
sure we'll talk more about this podcast tomorrow on
Probably.
our session as
We
well.
always have something to talk about. We could talk for hours, to be honest.
Exactly. Yeah, that's why I'm kind of like, I think this is actually going to be my longest podcast as well. So congrats on the
I'm
on the
just I'm
record.
just a yapper. I could talk for days.
Yeah, same. It's like I always get distracted and start talking about something else, which I'm sure I've done about 50 times in this podcast. But yeah, thank you so much for joining. And thank you guys who are listening to the podcast for joining, watching on YouTube, Spotify, wherever you're watching or listening to this. Thank you so much. But yeah, we've got next podcast as usual on Monday, again next week. So make sure you tune in then. And as always, if you have any questions, please leave a comment in the comment section below, Spotify, YouTube, wherever. Or you can message me on Instagram at siobhan.builtformore, all one word on Instagram, and I will be sure to get back to you. But have a lovely rest of your evening, morning, as I said, whenever you're listening to this, and I'll catch you on the next one.